Hey everyone, welcome to BrickVault. Today is another LEGO Top 10 MOCs of the Week episode coming at you on this Sunday. As always, 10 amazing creations have been chosen for Top 10. There's way more though that are going to be shown in this video. Links to everybody and a whole lot more are all in the description below if you want to see more cool LEGO custom creations. And before we jump into Top 10, first let me just say that the custom building instructions that have popped up in the web store this week come from the designer Zio, and it is yet another amazing LEGO Halo creation, the Cyclops. You never see this particular walker in the first-person shooter games. It appeared only in Halo Wars and Halo Wars 2. It's one of the smaller walking units you can get. Its full video is in the description below as well, and now let's jump into Top 10 of the week. The first one here is what you saw in the thumbnail from Midwest Builders. This is Fat Gus Squirrel Mech. Now the description doesn't directly reference the Fat Gus character squirrel in the Mark Rober videos, but I can't imagine the naming of this gigantic squirrel mech being a coincidence in any way. You can see it's not just one gigantic squirrel mech, there's actually several other squirrels in smaller squirrel mech suits. They've got frog pods, and there's a whole weird little world built around this actually pretty solid looking and very fun cartoony build for a larger mech robot. The spherical dome cockpit looks great. You can see how the squirrel actually controls the Fat Gus mech, and the saw looks like it spins because that is definitely hooked up to a motor. This is a super fun build, definitely the kind of stuff that keeps me coming back every week. And now we've jumped onto a modular styled building from Delusion Brick. It's old Windmill Island Tavern with some fun smooth shapes, great color combination, and frankly just an awesome idea for adding a windmill build onto a 32x32 base plate, the standard size for a modular design. It's not formatted quite the same way if you wanted to hook it up with other creator modular building sets, but without too much modification, I'm sure a sidewalk could have space here. And then you'd have a really cool, very unique building with a windmill nestled within a larger LEGO city layout, which is just fantastic. Next up is from Castor Troy. You are looking at all LEGO right here. This is not a lamp. I mean, it is a lamp. It's an LED lamp, but it is made completely from LEGO bricks. I think it is officially up on LEGO Ideas right now. And now that I'm looking closer, I think this is actually 100% a digital render. I'm only just discovering this right now, but when you zoom in, yeah, I think this too is a digital build only, and perhaps the trans clear longer plate wedges was also a giveaway as well. Regardless, it's a really fun, ornate, kind of creepy old lamp that you would find in like an antique store or something. I don't know how much light this would give off if you were just using official LEGO LEDs, but as a long-term collector with a dedicated set of LEGO rooms, this is definitely a cool thing to have up on the shelf if it existed in real life. The next model here is from p.vanderloo, and the title is DAF 1800. We just have some excellent shapes marrying together in the front cab for this larger truck. You can see the whole face is actually slanted back on a tilt, and it matches up just right with the side-built slopes on the sides of the doors. There's an incredible amount of complexity and subtle shaping that had to line up just right in the front, and everything else, in my opinion, just feels kind of like icing on the cake. The build for the trailer and the wheel wells, everything lines up just right, and really it is about the way the front of that truck was built. There is a ton of expert little brick placing that had to happen. From Joe, or J&J Bricks, this is the Pilgrim, and really the title of the diorama is in reference to just this singular figure in gray walking up towards what looks like a small church. You can see a monk standing at the doors with wine. There's a small cemetery with a looping fence, which looks great, and a fairly nice complementary set of colors. The lavender leaf pieces used on the trees show blossoms, while the greens are anything but conventional. You don't get regular green or dark green, you get lime green, olive green, and maybe just a little bit of sand green here and there, and it really kind of breaks up the look for the organic pieces that are used, including lots and lots of katanas. Awesome build. And let's jump over to a really fun one. I just love the shape for this Grasshopper head. It's just titled Grasshopper. The builder is Caleb Flutur, and it is a steampunk robotic style build for a fairly large Grasshopper. The head looks great. The antennas are awesome. You can actually see the curved pieces are those black sausage ones with just the little nub sticking out at the end, fitting into the 2L bars. The pneumatics and spring pieces that make up the legs look great, and there's also kind of a fun functional looking feel to it because they are spring loaded, and of course grasshoppers hop very far, and it's just a fun little robotic bug build. I do not present these in orders of best to worst, just 10 awesome creations. This is number 4 in the lineup. From Moko, we have Lego Samurai Mech. This is one of the premier Lego mech builders out there. In this particular week, he seemed to put together something that falls along the lines of more traditional beefy armored samurai look. Love the layering for the large shoulder pauldrons. There's a similar layered build motif that is extended to the front skirt. The 3 ring forces in the front feel kinda epic, and it's just a cool Lego robot. What can I say? If this guy was to go up against Fat Gus, you let me know who you think the winner would be. And now we're jumping over to a model from Rubblemaker. This is Trilobate, and it's just one of those fun, interesting shapes that you can make for a sci-fi ship. There are some very interesting, unique pieces used to create the outer layers for the cockpit. It's got a very organic feel, something like maybe a cuttlefish or a stingray, and it's just a nice combination of smooth, elegant shapes mixed with some good old mechanical greebles and hoses. Number 2 in the lineup here is from Hypolite Bricks. The title is Ivy's Greenhouse, and it's an incredibly well-detailed Batman vignette. So you can see the almost zombified version of Ivy in the background. I think she's got Groot's body. There's Catwoman kind of staring at Batman, who seems to have got himself caught. She's standing next to a cat. So many good pieces used for the plants all over this greenhouse, with the architecture of the backdrop actually looking pretty darn fantastic as well. Just a quality build through and through, and we're now looking at a fairly epic, fairly creepy large-scale sci-fi build from Bart de Dobbelaer. This is Greenhouse Symbiosis. So very different greenhouse aesthetic, as you can tell. The only greenery seems to be some type of organic material that are trapped in those cylinders in the background, while you have these long-legged insect-like creatures all being somewhat drawn towards a light in the center. This really is a far out there sci-fi concept, but realized incredibly well at a fairly large scale in Lego bricks. Lots of fun shapes, lots of fun weird pieces getting used here. And that is it for my personal favorite top 10 of the week. Here are some honorable mentions. Blue Builder has a giant dragon that has wings made almost completely of squids. The title is Beloved Enemy. Daniel Brickson made Hannah Crabba. This is also one of those other cool crab builds that you saw from last week. Zio, the same guy that we just launched the Cyclops for, has a fun side build that he made this week. This is Rail Cannon Tank, aka a Scarab. Evan Kelt Lego built Engine Trouble. You can see some cowboys moving the cattle along the range, while somebody from seemingly another planet seems to be crash landing. Vertaro titled this Diagana Infestation. Seems like Coruscant hasn't been paying attention to the growth of their pests in the sewers, and things have just gotten out of hand. Lastly, here is CCE99 from Andreas Lenander. Just a clean, fun little sci-fi couple of builds, and that is it for my personal favorite top 10. Remember, links to everybody in the description below if you want to learn more. Thank you so much for sticking around to the end of the video, and we'll see you next time at BrickVault.